Hello and welcome. Today I will talk about Microsoft Office. If we open up a book written on Microsoft Office, it gives us the definition similar to the following words. Microsoft Office is a group of programs called applications or apps. These apps are designed to create documents, collaborate with co-workers, and track and analyze information. The Office apps are bundled together in a group called Suite. For example, Microsoft Office consists of applications like Microsoft Word, Excel, PowerPoint, and so on. Microsoft Word. Why do we use Microsoft Word? When we need to create text-based documents such as newsletter, memo, or multi-page report, Word is used. In the upcoming videos, I will talk about different functions of Microsoft Word. For example, how to save a file, print a file, how to draw tables, and so on. Hi, once we are in Microsoft Word file, we can go to File tab, and here we have different options. So we choose New from here, click it. It gives us different options. One is blank document and other is preset documents, which are called templates. So let's choose blank document. Click it. We can type. This is how we choose a new document. Now we want to open a document. So go to File, select Open, click it. It gives us the location of the files, where the files are located. And it gives us the file names here. For example, we want to open this file. Next is to save a file. So we go to File once again. There are two options. One is Save and one is Save As. Now, what is the difference between save and save as? If we are saving a file for the first time, it's going to be save as. Let's try this. So go to File, Save As. It asks us where do we want to save it, what is the location going to be. Let's say we choose Documents, and then it asks us to name the file. We name it and then we save it. This is save as. Now, when we are saving a document for second time or subsequent times, then it's saved. So let's say you want to save it now. We just go to File and hit Save, and it's saved. There's another way of saving it. We go here on the top, and here's a Save button. We press it, and the file is saved. There are more than one ways of doing same thing in Microsoft Word. So that's how we save it. Next is how to print a document. So we go to File once again. We click on Print. We are given various options. First of all, on the right hand side is the layout of the page, how a document is going to look like. On the left hand side, we have different options. For example, number of copies, how many copies we want to make. Then it's printer. If we have a printer installed and set up, we can choose that printer. Next is print all pages or print current page. If we choose current page here, then whatever the current page is going to be, that will be printed, not all the pages. Then we have print one-sided or double-sided. Print one-sided means that one side of the page will be printed. If we want to save pages, we can choose both sides. This way, both sides of the page is going to be printed. Then we have orientation. In orientation, we have portrait and landscape. This is portrait. This is how the portrait looks like. Landscape looks like this. So sometimes we need documents that are landscape and sometimes portrait. So we can choose it depending on our need. Next is the size of the letter. By default, 8.5 by 11 inches is the size. We can reduce the size, we can increase the size. Normal margins. Margin size is set to 1 inch by default, meaning 1 inch on the top, 1 inch on the bottom, 1 inch left side and 1 inch right side. If you want to change it, we can change it here. You can see the difference. And then pages per sheet. If you select 2 pages per sheet, your document will be printed like this. 2 pages per sheet. Once we check this, we hit print, and if you have printer working, it will print your document. Then we have the option of closing the document. So we go to file once again and we hit close here. Once we hit close, it asks us if we want to save the document. So this option comes if we haven't saved the document. If we save the document, then we are good to go. If we have not saved the document, it gives us an option to save it so that we don't lose our work. So when it comes here, if you don't want to save it, don't save. This way, document will be closed. But remember, this closes the document, not the Microsoft Word app. If you want to close the Microsoft Word app, we have to go on the right corner here and then hit close. This will close over Microsoft Word app. Hello and welcome. Let's talk about few more functions of Microsoft Word. Working with existing files. Existing file means the file that we have saved already. The work that we have left from somewhere, we are going to start doing it again. Or any changes that we make in a file that we have worked on already. That is simply working with existing files. For example, this file we saved already. So any change we make in this file means that we are working with existing file. Getting help from Microsoft Word. Let's go to Help tab. Left click it. We have different options: what's new, show training, feedback, contact support, and help. Press help. It gives us a box on the right side where we can search different topics. For example, let's search copy. So once we enter copy, it will give us results. For example, copy the window or screen contents, copy a page, and so on. We can choose the option that is relevant to us. Let's say we choose copy a page. Click it. It will give us the information regarding copying a page. It also has tip at the bottom. It's pretty helpful tool to find help on any topic relating to Microsoft Word. Editing and correcting documents. Editing means to write, to type, to change, to check a document. For example, if we make any changes to this document, it means that we are editing this document. Let's say we select this text and change its color to red. It means that we have edited this document. Headers and footers. Header means writing on the top of a page, on a head of a page. Similarly, footer means writing on the foot of a page or bottom of a page. You might have noticed that on books you see sometimes page numbers, sometimes you see title, sometimes you see author. So whenever we want to write something on the top of a page or bottom of the page, and we don't want to type it again and again, we just want to type it once and like it to be repeated, we add headers and footers. Let's see this. In order to insert headers and footers, we go to insert, we choose header, first one. Let's say we write MS Word here, Microsoft Word. That's it. When we move to subsequent pages, we will see MS Word on the top of every page. Let's see. This is page 1. It has header here which says Microsoft Word, MS Word. This is page 2. It has MS Word written automatically. Move on to next page, number 3. It will automatically put MS Word here, as this is the header. If we want to write something on the foot of a page or bottom of a page, we insert it as a footer. For example, let's go to insert and choose footer. First one. Right here, author, for example. Okay, how many inches from top, bottom, left, right, and so on. So close header and footer. That's it. This is page 1 and it has a footer that says Qandeel Rathore. Let's move on to next page. Page number 2, it will say Qandeel Rathore on the bottom. Move on to next page, it will say Qandeel Rathore at the bottom of the page. See?
Home tab, clipboard. We have cut, copy and paste options here. Select a text, cut, paste, or select a text, copy, and then paste. You may note that when the text is not selected, these options are not highlighted. When the text is selected, then cut and copy options are highlighted. The reason why it is not highlighted when the text is not selected is because there is nothing to cut and copy. After that, we have font. In font, we have font style. How do you want your text to look like? Then we have font size. What size of font you want to have. Next to it is A. This is used to increase font size by 2 points. Similarly, this is used to decrease font size by 2 points. This is bold if we want to make the text look darker. For example, select this and hit B, the text will be darker. It's called bold. This I, slanted I, is called italicize. If we want to italicize our text, we use this slanted I. This U here is to underline. And we have different options to choose from. If we want single solid line, we want double line, we want a thick line, we want dotted line, whichever option we want to choose. Next we have A, B, and there is a line on it. You may notice that when I hover over my pointer on a function, it gives its name. For example, this is strike through, and it gives its functionality. Cross something out by drawing a line through it. So select the text and hit it, strike through. Generally, you see that for prices. For example, you will see sometimes $100 price, and then you will see $80. So this $100 will be like this, which means that the original price is $100, but we are selling it for $80. So this is one of the uses of strike through. Next is subscript and superscript. Subscript is used to write a text on the bottom of the main text. For example, if I type here A and choose subscript, you see how it looks like. Similarly, for superscript, let's say I write X and then I want to write something on the top. So you find this in mathematics. This is sort of X square. This right here, this A has a shadow on it. This is used to select different effects on text. So you can have different text effects. For example, if you select this text and you want to choose different effects, for example, this has shadow. If you realize this has shadow, and you can choose different options. Then you have outline, reflection, glow, etc. Next to it is highlighter. If you want to highlight part of a text, you can highlight it. Then you have font color. This shows which color of the font you want to have. For example, this is black color. So if you want to change the color, you can select the text and then change the color from here. This on the top has few functions: sentence case, lowercase, uppercase, capitalize each word, toggle case. Sentence case means that first letter of first word of the sentence will be capitalized. So in English writing, when we start a paragraph and first sentence of the paragraph, first word of the sentence, its first letter is capitalized. Lowercase means all the text is converted into lowercase, such as this. You see, everything is converted into lowercase. Uppercase means everything is converted into uppercase letters. Capitalize each word means first letter of every word. First letter of every word will be capitalized. Toggle case is that first letter of every word will be small and rest of the letters will be capitalized. This is toggle case. Then we have an option where we can insert bullets and numbers. For example, if I want to write something in bullet points, so I will select this option. Now there are different options of bullets we have. We can choose whichever we want. So if I start typing here and press enter, everything will be in bullet form. You can choose what kind of bullets you want. You can have it this way. You can choose this kind of bullet. So whichever kind you want, you can select from here. Instead of bullets, you can also choose numbers. For example, if you choose numbers, it will be 1, 2, 3, 4 instead of bullets. And similarly 1A, 1B and 1C, etc. We are talking about paragraph. This is paragraph. Align left, align right, align center and justify. Normally English writing is aligned to the left, which means that left side of the writing is aligned. There's equal spacing here. This C starts from here and then this T starts right beneath it, and then A and then C. There's a line. If you draw a straight line here, it will be exactly a straight line. This is called left alignment. On the right hand side, you see there is no alignment. Time ends here, for ends here, travel ends here, so there is no alignment. One word is ending here, one word is ending here, one word is ending here. There is no alignment. But here, there is an alignment. So when we change, what happens? Let's see. This is right. So now you see all the words are ending exactly in straight line on the right side, but on the left side they are clumsy, they are not straight line. Then we have align center, it is aligned to the center, and then we have justify. Next in paragraph is line and paragraph spacing. This tells us how we can adjust our paragraph spacing. For example, line spacing options. It tells us how much width or how much gap or how much space should we have between the lines. If I make a change here, you will see the effect here. For example, if I select double, you see how the paragraph spacing has changed. So if I do OK, it will change the paragraph settings in terms of spacing. This is decrease indent and increase indent. Increase indent increases your text like this, and decreases it like this. So what is indent? Indent is the space on the margins. So when you start writing a paragraph, first sentence of a paragraph has a space. Whenever you start a new paragraph, there is a space there. Such as this. So let's say this is a paragraph. So first sentence of the paragraph has a space. See, this line starts from here, this starts from here, and this starts from here. But the first one starts on the right hand side. It moves towards the right. So this space here is called indentation. So we can increase indentation and we can decrease indentation. See, it is increasing and it is decreasing. This is shading. If you want to shade your text, see, you can shade it like this. And this is border. If you want to border your text, for example, if I choose all borders, you'll see there is border around your text. This is sort. How you want to see your text. It's ascending and descending. So this is descending order, and this is ascending order. What is ascending and what is descending? Descending means from top to bottom, and ascending means from bottom to top. For example, if you are looking at it in terms of alphabetical order, from A to Z or Z to A. So you want to see the names that start from A and then B and then C and so on, or you want to see names that start with Z first and then Y and then X and then W and so on. So based on that, you can make this change. This is show hide sign. This sign shows or hides paragraph marks. If I click on this, it will show paragraph marks, and if I click it again, it will hide paragraph marks. Styles. What kind of style you want? Normal, no spacing, heading, heading 2, there are more options that you can choose from. Next is editing. We have find, replaced, and select in editing. Select is pretty simple. You want to select all. It means all of the text is going to be selected. You have different options here. You can select objects and so on. Then you have find and replace. Find simply means to find something in your document. For example, if I type here Delhi, results will show for Delhi. So wherever word Delhi is written will be shown here. So this is how we can find something in a document. Otherwise, we would have to read the whole text, each and every sentence, to find this word. If your document has 50 pages, you have to read 50 pages. And still you are not sure if you are able to find it everywhere. Next is replace. When you find something, you don't only find, you want to replace it. So if you find the word daily, you want to replace it with actively. Just to give an example. So replace, if you hit replace, it will replace once. If you do replace all, it will replace everywhere the word daily is mentioned. Next function is dictate. If you select dictate, mic turns on, and when you're speaking, Microsoft Office automatically recognizes your voice and types the words that you are saying, as you can see here. Next is editor. When you hit editor button, it gives you editor score. Editor score means overall what is the percentage of errors in your page. So 14% means there are a lot of errors. Ideally, it should be 100%. If editor score is 100%, it means there is no error in your document. Errors are mentioned here. So there are 24 spelling errors, 2 grammatical errors, 1 formality, etc., etc. In insert, we have different functions that we are going to talk about now. We have cover page. We can add a cover page. What is a cover page? When we have several documents, we want to add a cover page to give it a nice look, to detail what's going to be in that document. For example, if we have a file, the first page will be the cover page, which will detail what's in the file, what kind of documents are there in the file. You can also choose from a template what kind of cover page you want. And as I mentioned, cover page is on the top. This is the first page of your document. Blank page. When you click blank page is added after your cursor. You point your cursor, and when you insert blank page will be inserted there. Table. If you want to add tables, you can insert tables. You have number of rows and columns you can choose from. So these vertical boxes are columns and these horizontal boxes are rows. So if I choose, let's say 3 by 2, it means there are 3 columns and 2 rows. So first comes the column and second comes the row. So 3 by 2 would mean 3 columns and 2 rows. Then if you want to add pictures, we can also insert pictures from this device, from online, from stock images. So this device means if you have pictures in your device, in your computer, you can add them. Stock images, there are images that are pre-built, meaning they are there in the system already. You can use those if you want.
And then you have online pictures. You can add these also if you like. Next is shapes. You can draw and add different shapes. For example, if I choose this rectangle, I can draw this rectangle here. I can also color it and add text in it. Icons, we can insert icons. Such as this. 3D models. We can add 3D models from here. Smart art, we can add smart art. So we can add list, process, cycle, whatever kind you want, you can add. So you can type text here, you can compare it, you can use it to beautify your document. There are different purposes you can use this for. Chart, you can add charts. You can insert links. So this is a link. There are two kinds of link. One is simply a link and one is called hyperlink. So link versus hyperlink. A link is simply a link which you have to copy and then paste it in a browser and it will open. A hyperlink, on the other hand, is a link which has an access to the website or the page itself. So you hit Control and then right click on your mouse. So this will open your link. So hyperlink can be opened by clicking on it, whereas a regular link cannot be opened by clicking on it. For a regular link, you have to copy it and paste it in a browser, as I just mentioned. Then you have comment section here. If you want to add comments, you can add comments. Example is, if you are writing an essay and your teacher is reading your essay, your teacher can ask you a question or ask you to elaborate something. So your teacher can write, for example, what do you mean by this? When you will open this document, you will see that your teacher has a remark on it. So you will respond accordingly. Header and footer. We talked about header and footer in another video before. Text box is used to add text. So if you want to write something here, you will insert a text box and then you will type in the text box. Word art, you can choose your writing style. What kind of style do you want? You want shadow, etc. Drop cap is very simple. You can choose it. For example, if I use drop cap here, what happens is, you see A is separated here. A is identified separately. You normally see this in newspapers or magazines, just to beautify your text or to capture readers' attention. You can add signature line, you can write what you want
the signature to be. For example, you can write sign here. This is what will be written here. See, sign here. And then you can sign here. Date and time. You can insert whichever format you want. For example, May 24, 2025 or Saturday, May 24, 2025, whichever the way you want. You can also put time. For example, May 24, 2025, 9:06:52 seconds PM. Then you have equation. You can add mathematical equations here. Symbols. If you want to use symbols, you can insert symbols here. In Draw, we have different options. For example, we can choose different types of pens here and draw. Mostly it is used to draw signatures. We talked about inserting signatures. This is eraser. It is used to erase the text. We can choose different colors. This is ink replay. It can replay our drawing. This is the ruler. Next is design. In design we have themes. We can choose different themes here. Colors, we can choose different colors. Fonts, different fonts. Watermark. Watermark is on the background of the page. You see, it's sort of a stamp. It says confidential on it. We can also type watermark. For example, custom watermark. We can type here, let's say executive. See, executive has been written here. Then we have page color. We can color this page. If we choose yellow, it will be a yellow page. We can also border the page. This is how we border our page. Layout. In layout we have margins. Margin is the space on top, bottom, left and right of the document. You see this empty space where nothing is written. On the top, empty space, nothing is written. On the side and on the bottom where nothing is written, it is called margins. We have left, right, top and bottom margins. By default, margin size is 1 inch each. It means on the top we have 1 inch space, meaning 1 inch space from here, 1 inch left, 1 inch right and 1 inch bottom. We can change this as well. Orientation. Orientation is portrait or landscape. This right here is portrait. If I choose landscape, the document will look like this. This is landscape. Size of the paper. By default size is 8.5 inches by 11 inches. So 8.5 inches like this and 11 inches like this. Vertical 11 inches and horizontal 8.5 inches. You can choose different sizes from here. So when you want to print, then you should have the same size of paper. For example, if the size is 8.5 by 11 inch, which is also called letter, you should have the same size of paper in your printer. Meaning 8.5 by 11 inches paper you should have in your printer if you want to print this page. Columns mean you want to see your text in different columns. This is one column, meaning everything is in one column. If you choose two columns, there will be one column and one two column. Like this. Line numbers. Line numbers simply gives a number to every line. It's automatic. So instead of counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, you can insert line numbers. So it can tell you how many lines you have. Hyphenation. Hyphenation means when you are writing something, some words cannot fit on a margin. So if a word does not fit on a margin, for example, if I write here this word is reorganize. Reorganize cannot fit into this margin. So if we don't choose hyphenation, what will happen? This whole word reorganize will go to the next line. If we choose hyphenation, whatever part fits on the margin will stay on the margin and the rest will be down. For example, this is reorganize. This is not re and this is not organize. This is the whole word reorganize. How do we know? Because there is a hyphen here. Hyphen means that this word continues. This is not the end of the word. And then this word is not a new word. This is continuity of the previous word. This is what hyphen means. This is page number 1. I go to page number 2. I have 2 pages now. I would like to change the orientation of page number 1 only, not page number 2. Orientation, landscape. You may note that the orientation of page number 1 as well as page number 2 has been changed. But I only want to change the orientation of page number 1. This is where page breaks come into play. This is page number 1. Layout, breaks, section breaks, next page. I have 2 pages. I would like to change the orientation of page 1. Orientation, landscape. You may note that the orientation of only page number 1 has changed. This is the use of page breaks. References. References has endnote, footnote. What is endnote? Endnote is a note that comes at the end of a document. Footnote means it is a note that is used to explain something at the end of the page. So if we want to explain something on this page, it will come at the end of this page. It is called footnote that comes at the foot of a page. Endnote, on the other hand, comes at the end of the document. See the difference? Endnote is at the end of the document, whereas footnote is at the end of a page. Show notes. You can see notes. Insert citation. Citation is used in colleges. When you write essays, your professors want you to cite your sources. This is when inserts, citation is used. Bibliography. Bibliography is also used while sourcing your references. Review. Spelling and grammar. Spelling and grammar is used to check spelling and grammar of the document. Thesaurus. Thesaurus means similar words, which are also called synonyms. So if you have a word here, let's say reading, and you want to see its synonym, reading has these synonyms, are words that are similar in meaning. So you can choose these words if you want. For example, instead of reading, if you want to use the word analysis, you can insert it. It is inserted. You can also copy and then paste it. It is pasted here. Word count. Word count simply means how many words are there in the page. So it has 3 pages in total. There are 3 pages in this document. There are 32 words. Characters. So in textbook, T is a character, E is a character, X is a character. So characters without spaces are 241 and characters with spaces are 267. So if you include spaces, there are 267 characters. If you do not include spaces in characters, then they are 241. There are 6 paragraphs and 12 lines. Read aloud. This option gives you to read the document. For example, if you choose this and then read it aloud,
Focus on Graham Marks 3rd, Units 1 to 5.
translate document, translate selection. The language detected is English. Original language is English. We want to translate it into a different language. Let's say Spanish. Spanish. This text is converted into Spanish. You can choose which language you want. These arrow keys are used to swap, meaning it is English here and Spanish here. If you swap it, Spanish will be here and English will be here. If you click insert, Spanish will be inserted here. Then we have language. Which language you want to choose? What is your language preference? English, United States, etc. Protect, if you want to protect your document. If you want to restrict editing, there are different functions you can perform. You want to restrict formatting or editing. Formatting restrictions. Click on this yes, start and forcing protection. If you click yes, it will ask you for password. Okay, now see what happens. You can edit it but you cannot format it. You see, bold, italic, underline, colors, font are not available because it is restricted. If you choose editing restrictions, what will happen? You cannot even make any changes. You cannot type anything here. If you want to stop protection, click on stop protection and enter your password. Now you can edit your document.
What is mail merge? In simple words, if you want to send mass emails or letters or envelopes, what is the typical way of doing it? The typical way is that you will write email addresses of each recipient and then send it. Similarly, in case of envelopes, you will write recipients' addresses one by one, which is an uphill task. If we talk about hundreds of letters or hundreds of emails, then it takes a lot of time. So to save that time, we use mail merge. Mail merge allows us to personalize documents like letters, emails, labels, and envelopes by combining a main document with data from a separate data source like an Excel sheet or Outlook contacts. So what is the purpose? Instead of writing individually for every contact, we combine it, we personalize it. Let's see. Let's open a new document. Mailing, start mail merge, letters, email, messages, envelopes. Let's choose envelopes. Size of an envelope. This is how an envelope exactly looks like. Sender's address, recipient's address, stamp. Okay. Select recipients. We can either type a new list or we can use an existing list. Okay, once we select recipients, we are given this option of insert merge field. So we can choose which field we want to insert here. Address, city, state, and zip. Preview results. Once we hit preview, it will show us how it is going to be printed. This is going to be envelope number 1, number 2, number 3. We have 3 recipients in the list that we selected. I can also show you that. Here, this is the contact list that we selected. Name, address, city, state, zip. John, Alina, and Skandar. Okay, this is the recipient's address. Here we type the sender's address. Once this is inserted and we have checked it for accuracy, then finish and merge. Print document. Okay, we are not printing, of course, but you get the idea. When you want to print this, you should have envelopes in your printer. There will be 3 envelopes that will be printed like this. This is how we send mass envelopes without entering them individually. Hi, what is a macro? Macros are automated actions or scripts that can be created to streamline repetitive tasks. In simple words, when we want to repeat an action, let's say we want to copy text, paragraph, or table, we copy it and paste it. This is typical way of doing it. Another way of doing it is that we record macros and then run those macros to use that feature instead of copying and pasting. Let's see. Open a blank document. View macros, record macro. Let's call it a table, as we are inserting a table. There are two ways we can retrieve or run this macro. Number one, by using a button. Number two, by using a keyboard. Let's use a keyboard option. Click on keyboard. It asks us to assign a shortcut key to it. Let's say Control, Shift, and X. Assign, close. You see there is a recorder here. It means any action that we are going to take now is going to be recorded. Insert, table. Let's insert a table. This table that we have inserted has been recorded in macro. View, macros, stop recording. Whenever we will use our shortcut, table will be inserted. Let's see, Control, Shift, X. Control, Shift, X. This is the use of macros.